Yo, what is up? This is Rob, also known as Legend of Drosy, coming at you from Team Stage 0 with probably hands down my favorite Set 13 new leader, Blue SS2 Gohan. So we're just going to be kind of going over the leader, main engine of the deck, my personal list, couple different tweaks that you can make, and then kind of going over your mulligans and stuff like that, just to kind of walk you through theoretically how the deck plays. So let's jump right into it. Let's check out the leader. So the leader on the front side, when this card attacks, you may add one mono blue card from your energy to your hand. If you do, choose up to one mono blue battle card in your hand and place it in your energy. So this is really similar to the energy explosive Vegeta leader, where you're able just to kind of manipulate your energy and pick up and swap energy constantly on tapping. Your energy plays as like a second hand in a sense. So you're able to just kind of rotate through different things, kind of protect against hand destruction. There's a lot of different utilities this leader can do with its energy. His second auto, when a blue skillless battle card is played from your energy, you may flip this card over. If you do, draw 2 cards, and then add cards to your life from your life to your hand until you have 6 life left. It's really good. So the whole main engine of the deck is skillless. You're basically going to be playing a lot of vanilla 20k beaters for 1 energy. And so this leader is very good at what it does in that aspect. So you're essentially awakening turn 2. So you're drawing like 3 or 4 cards on your awakening turn, which is super solid. It has your conditional. Your normal awaken is when your life is at 4 or less life, you can draw 2 cards and then flip it over. Let's check out the backside. The backside is when this card attacks, you draw 1 card, and then you may add 1 of your mono blue energy to your hand. If you do, you can choose up to 1 mono blue battle card in your hand and place it in your energy. Now, I know when I played this deck against Android's King Vegeta, I messed up. You can only place blue battle cards in your energy. You can't just place like a unison or an extra card. You can pick up those, but they have to be battle cards when you place them back down in energy. I know when we played, I placed a baby unison off the leader skill. That was my fault. So this is really good because once we get to the other cards in the deck, you play energy off the top of your deck. So sometimes you get stuff in your energy that you don't want, and this lets you kind of you're basically drawing 2 off a leader, because then you're able to pick stuff up, put stuff back down, and have that extra utility. He also has an activate battle once per turn. Choose one of your blue skillless Saiyan cards with an energy cost of 2 or less, and it gets 5,000 power for the battle. This is just blue Kid Coup, guys. Let's be real. You play a bunch of vanillas, you boost them, you swing big fatties at them, and say 20, 25. It's great. I think that's why a lot of this appeals to me, because I played Kid Coup. So this is just a blue Kid Coup. So you get dimension magic and access to different things like that instead of being stuck in mono black. Or not mono black, but as a black leader. So you kind of pump up your skill list. You just kind of flood the board. You have a lot of cool utility with this leader. So looking into some of the engine that we play. So there's I believe 3 of them that do this, but the 2 main ones that we run in the deck are Krillin and Tien Shinhan Energy Fortification. Both have different first autos. You're never really gonna play them. We play them for the second auto. So they both have the following ability. So an auto, pay 1 blue. If your leader is a blue Son Gohan childhood card, when this card is placed in your energy from your hand, you may play 1 blue skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 from your energy. If you do, place the top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode. And this is how we cheat with this deck. So you charge vanillas, you charge Tien or Krillin, you pay the 1, you play the vanilla, you charge an energy, you swing with the leader, you pick up the energy you charged off of Krillin or Tien, and then now you basically have a 20k beater for free. It's really strong. Their abilities proc off of leader skill. They proc off of when you enter your charge phase, if you charge one of them. I play the Zeno super combo, which we'll get to later. It procs off of that. So you have a couple different ways to get these abilities. So you can do these defensively, offensively. It's just very, very strong. So I played 4 of each of the new vanillas because the artwork's really good. As long as they're 2-drop 20Ks, it really doesn't matter what vanillas you run. They don't have to be Saiyans. It's nothing specific. So I just played 2 of the Super Saiyan Trunks, 2 of the Super Saiyan Son Gohans. So this is going to be pretty much your core engine for the most part. A couple of the other cards we play. So Son Gohan, Unbelievable Might is a blocker, 15k. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Blue's got barrier removal, baby. It's great. It's needed this for a while. It's kind of unfortunate that it's 3 or less, but it still hits a lot of these small pesky cards that are annoying. Like it hits the Vegeta in Invoker. It can hit just a bunch of smaller, like if the meta going forward seems to be very go wide. So not only do you get to block an attack, you also get to bottom deck one of your opponent's attackers. So it really kind of helps fluctuate on that aspect. His activate main is a blue. If your leader is a mono blue and you have a blue skillless card with an energy cost of 2 in play, you play this card from your hand. It is not once per turn, so you can play 2 or 3 of these per turn. You can loop them with Path to Infinite Son Goku, which we do play in the deck as well. It's just overall, I really like this card. At first I was kind of iffy on it, but it's probably one of my favorite cards in the deck. And then we have our big boy finisher, SS2 Son Gohan, Astonishing Strike. Deflect, triple strike, 10-drop. So he has an activate main for 4 blue. If your leader is a blue Saiyan card, your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you choose one of your blue skillless battle cards with an energy cost of 2, play this card from your hand. If you do, you place the chosen card in your energy. So he's essentially a 4-drop that ramps you to 5 energy. And the energy comes into play in active mode, which is really, really cool. So you're not tapping out to play him. You're essentially paying for gaining an energy, and then you can still use leader swing to pick up an energy and put something back down, so you have 2 active after playing him. So it lets you have defensive options, lets you go into different offensive options. It lets you give combo because he is a 10k, so if you have multiple, you can go into more of him. He's a really, really strong 30k. And because he's a 10k that comes out for 4, honestly, he's almost like a secret rare. Because he gets around the Frieza. He has the flex, so Trunks doesn't hit him. Red can kind of be an issue because you can get minused, but red's kind of a hard matchup for this deck. Just because you can't really get attacks through just because none of your big stuff has barrier. Other than that, like there's really not a lot of stuff that can stop this card. It's really, really good. His second activate main is once per turn, you place 1 mono blue battle card from your energy in your drop. Switch this card to active mode, then choose all of your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. So he's essentially a deflect, triple strike, 30k dual attack. So you ramp an energy, you're able to do what you want, and then you can pop an energy to restand them, board wipe your opponent's non-barrier cards to the bottom of their deck, and then swing again. It's so insanely strong. Honestly, this card's very equivalent to a SCR, in my opinion. I think this card is super, super value. So some of the support we run, like I mentioned earlier, I run 4 of the Zeno Edge of Space. I think this unit, or the super combo, runs really, really well with the engine because with the Krillin and Trunks, or the Krillin and Tien, you're able to do this defensively. So you're able to kind of flood the board on your opponent's turn, and it helps with the crackback. It lets you put more pressure on. This deck plays pretty aggressively for a blue deck, which is a really nice change of pace. It can be very defensive, but it also can kill you on turn 3, turn 4. So having that option to kind of flip the switch depending on the matchup and stuff like that is really, really cool. You can play the Vegeta super combos. I don't really have an issue with draw power in the deck, so I kind of lean toward the Zeno purely on the fact of the different utilities you have. Plus, if you hit other stuff in your energy off of the Tien or Krillin, you're able to pick those back up. So if you have like the Ultra Instinct Sun Goku that you want to play, or like the Path, or you need a Unison or a Dimension Magic, the Zeno gets it for you. The Unison we run in the deck is Baby. His +2 is, he's probably the best blue Unison in the game right now. He's really strong. He draws a card. He's hard to remove once he comes into play because he basically comes into play with 5 markers. His -5, if it comes off, your leader becomes a 30k double striker. We run 2 of the Golden Ape babies, so you're able to free counter something on your kill turn as well. Overall, the Unison is just really strong. As an alternate win con, I also run, has just mentioned, the Ultra Instinct Science Sun Goku package. Being able to bounce your opponent's entire board and forcing them to have a negate to answer this, and he's a 35k triple strike, is really strong. If you're able to play this and the Gohan in the same turn, that should just be game, especially if you can -5 the baby and be able to counter any negates. UI's always been kind of one of those blue cards that are a really consistent finisher. It does have more answers now than it did before, but it's still a threat that your opponent has to answer, which is really strong. So taking a look at the list, so we run 3 of the Trunks, we run 2 of the Baby Golden Avengers, we run Hatch because it's blue. Hatch is busted. So shout out to Mike Washington. He was on that. This kind of was off a shell for this deck that I made into mine. He ran 2 of the Janemba Bewitching Blows, which I find very interesting because it adds extra pressure either turn 3 or turn 4, just because it's 2 additional attacks and they're 19k crit, so you're guaranteeing 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. At first I wasn't a fan, but after seeing it played and testing with it, I like it. I don't think you need to go more. You can run the Janemba chain. I think Aspira just released a video kind of going over that. So you can run the Janemba chain with it, and that's a solid option as well. We just kind of going over what we didn't have in there. We run 4 Dimension Magic, 3 Son Goku Path to the Infinite to go along with our UI Gokus. So you bounce the 4-drop Gohan blocker, so you can play it, bounce something, swing, bounce it to hand with Path, play the Gohan again, swing with leader, pick up an energy, go into UI. It just has a lot of defensive options. And then I run 3 Nimbus Master. Again, this deck just kind of floods the board with 20Ks. So Nimbus Master is really strong on like turn 1 or turn 2 to defensively just play a vanilla on your opponent's first attack. And then going into your turn 2, you're going to probably have 2 vanillas in play. And this is where Zeno kind of outshines because the leader relies on having mono blue cards to charge or pick up. Zeno, if you hit the Goku off of the Tien or Krillin, the Goku or the Zeno can pick up the Goku, and that way you're not stuck with a red energy. You're going to have mono blue energy to make sure you can go into Gohan turn 4. I don't run Senzu Bean. Again, Mike had pointed out, and I agreed with him, that you're never really going to be tapped out with this deck because you can do whatever you want before your leader swing, and then you're always going to have at least 1 energy up. So you can have energy for Dimension Magic, you have energy for Tien or Krillin, you have energy for Nimbus Master, you have energy for combo. You draw a decent amount in this deck as well. So you're never really going to be dead hand in a sense. So overall, this list has been testing really well for me. I tried the Janemba package. It felt a little clunky. So I think just kind of nullifying the Janemba package, just running like Bewitching Blow just as an additional attacker for pressure is fine. And then from there, your engine's pretty small, so you kind of have a pretty big leeway in how you want to build the deck. So your mulligans in your first couple turns, you want to see a vanilla and a Tien Shinhan on. You want to charge the vanilla turn 1 and a Tien or Krillin turn 2. So you want to see a combination of those cards in your hand after your mulligan. So turn 1, you want to charge the vanilla. You really don't do anything. You can play the Krillin. It looks up to the top 5 for a blue Earthling, so you can hit vanillas with it. It can hit Tien. I I don't run the Pan Unison, but it grabs that as well, is just an option. Or you have Nimbus Master as an alternative option as well. Turn 2, you're going to play a vanilla, so you want to charge the Tien or Krillin. So there you awaken, so you're able to play another vanilla. You can go into the Gohan, or just try to maybe go into another vanilla depending on what your hand's like. Turn 3, you can play the Janemba as an option. You want to try to make sure Baby's on board turn 3, so you pay the 3, play Baby, swing with the pickup and energy. Now you have 1 open, your Unison, theoretically a couple God Sealings in hand to be able to stop anything your opponent does, so that way turn 4 or turn 5 you have the kill. Overall, guys, I'm really liking this deck. I think it's super strong. It gives off a very Kid Kui vibe, so I think that's partly why I'm so biased towards it. I think the leader is very versatile to what it can do. Let me know below if you guys have been testing this leader, what you guys are looking forward to it, what you guys have been testing. Any comments or questions, I will get to them, or ping me in the Discord. Subscribe, hit the bell. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Other than that, peace out, y'all.